Welcome to LedgerCast. It's been a minute, but we're here. We're live. We're alive and we're live. I'm live with...
You got the deep baritone, you know?
Oh, do I?
I like it.
Okay. It must be because it's late at night, so I'm speaking directly to the people.
Right. It's like
Just
Delilah. Not Delilah, but you know
Delilah.
Yeah. The radio show, you know, right?
Love someone tonight.
Not the song.
No, it's not a song. That's what she says.
Oh, is it? It's been a long time.
It's like the 90s, man. With
Just remember trying.
Delilah.
So I like.
That's what you were really expecting right now. That's what everybody was coming on for right there. Good
Some
morning.
of my best memories are like listening to the radio, driving in the dark.
Just a little soft rock in your car in your 2004 Civic.
John Tesh, another one. Absolutely. He probably still does that show.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
No. John Tesh, NFL draft stream. Yes, I would love. Let's see. I heard Tank just got drafted. I don't know if it was Tank Bigsby out of Auburn. It was. He's going to the Jaguars. Auburn man named Tank. Bullish. All right. We've started with completely non-topical content, so we'll probably stay in that lane.
Well, luckily, I outsourced our topics.
Oh, good.
By asking Twitter.
You asked people.
Yeah.
Josh, it's good to be with you.
Brian, Mr. Brian, it's good to be here.
It's good. It's good to be here. It is good to be here. I'm alive.
Good to see you.
I'm well. I even went on the Bankless podcast this week and spit some fire. So tonight is more ice. You know, like we gotta cool it down. Cool it down a little bit.
I haven't listened to it, but I do know the market dumped when you went on there. So
that's because somebody was tweeting fake news about Mt. Gox like it's 2015 all over again.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why is Jump auto fire sailing on that news? I don't understand how that even happened. I'd love to know if that was an automated thing or if somebody actually was like saw that alert and wanted to sell. I don't know. It's very weird.
I think the traders it's going to trade and they got systems, and then apparently their systems allow them to transfer $26 million based on a tweet and then just dump.
Just hit the red button.
Listen, if it's going to move 10%, you need at least 50 million to make 5 million in 10 minutes, and that's their standard. You know, this is my line. So you gotta.
They didn't want to double check that information. They just said that's the thing though. It doesn't even need to be true. It's just the tier 10K, who not necessarily his fault, but he did tweet that out.
Well, he's tweeting the systems. But Josh, we should be excited.
Who watches the Watchmen? That's the question.
That's right.
Excited, yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. We do not need a line because the line is the line, and it's showing the support and the resistance and the trends and the moving averages and the stuff. And I bet if we put the cloud on there, it'd show that too.
Just don't zoom in because it's a mess. But
you don't. That's what I spent most of my time on Bankless talking about. I was like, just stop it. Get your 1 hour. I haven't looked at a 1 hour chart in so long. And you look at the weekly, nothing. I'm thriving. I'm moisturized. You know, the meme. Like there's nothing to be concerned about here, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. Now, ETH might be a different story, but look, Bitcoin is.
I'm saying good things about Bitcoin, and you say this about ETH to me.
Bitcoin is the narrative where if banks fail, if shit hits the fan, okay, it's correlating with gold. That right now is a great narrative. I can't say the same about ETH. So now, if you're
on money that burns because it's the only network space on a blockchain.
Hold on, let me finish. Okay. If you go on Bankless or listen to it, you may hear a different narrative, right?
From me. and others, but I gave Josh, you'd be proud of me.
Okay.
I gave a Bitcoin and Ethereum narrative on Bankless. Like
I do need to listen to it, and I will. So I am excited to hear that.
My thing is, and part of what I said is like trying to predict this is trying to just create pain in your life, you know?
Well, that went from like looking okay
to looking like doo-doo, but every time it does it, it just then reverses and goes back. It's still in the same 2-year range. It has not done anything. That said, it doesn't take that much to envision a 25% dump of ETH BTC.
I think now nobody be offended when I say this, but when the dumb money gets here, that's when ETH is going to do well. Okay,
do very well.
ETH BTC being bullish is a sign that we are, in the later stages of the cycle, right?
We've been it's a 2-year it's up since 2019.
Right, but I'm saying in the cycle. So since 2021 mid, right?
In a 4-year cycle, in a 4-year bull market for ETH BTC.
Well, Lion in a what? It makes a good point, right? They don't have money because they're paying 24% on credit cards. They being dumb money, whatever, retail, Main Street. I'm not going to call people dumb. I'm just saying, people who
we'll
are
let him do it.
Okay, people who are throwing money at like meme stocks and like Pepe coin and ape, AMC, whatever, right? Those type of people really help the ETH BTC. They helped Anchor, they help Luna, right?
Yeah,
but like TA
but
wise,
ETH is not those things.
You might think that and say that, but ETH is literally built for variations of a casino. Like that's all it is.
And BTC didn't have a narrative until ordinals started taking up some block space.
What are you talking about? The ordinals is you buy it. It's an insurance against insanity for us in the West.
Ordinals.
No, not ordinals. I don't give a
they took up block space.
I
Finally.
don't give a flip about ordinals. I'm happy.
A flip.xyz.
You're paying for something. God bless you. Do whatever you want. Graffiti. I don't care.
They finally fixed these comments, and that doesn't go over your head, like over our head. Up, no, it does. It still goes all the way across.
But my point is, though, TA wise, this is like morphing into M double top type situation. Pretty sure it's below the weekly cloud or it's in the weekly cloud. It's just not like a clear cut continuation anymore.
Oh, I'd never call this clear cut.
But before it was like, oh, this looks really good.
Yeah, and that's why it was like
it had my point is it had the narrative, and it does not have the narrative anymore. At least for me, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I agree.
Like, staking was locked.
This was what I wanted. It now is looking like it's doing double droopy. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's a nothing burger. Red line, 200 week, probably going to be in the same daggum place, 0.05 to 0.06 in like a year. And we can talk about this 52 more times.
Look at dominance. Look at any other BTC pair. Like most of them don't look great. They don't look great. Now, are you going to get like a crazy multiple like you did 10 years ago? No. Also no, right? But there's a time and a place for me to be in shitcoins and not be in shitcoins.
Yeah, my argument is ETH is not that. ETH is it's leveled up. Ordinals activity ushered in chain fees and kicked up some activity on the network. This is a fact. This is the lion in a what show. Thank you, sir, for being here.
He could just be here.
You could just hop on. But so if you go listen, I agree with everything you said about everything except for BTC and ETH. BTC and ETH have a narrative that no others have. Nobody else can level up. Go look at everything relative to BTC and relative to ETH.
Do you remember EOS, by the way?
Of course, it's trash. It's zero. It's going as zero.
Do you remember any of this stuff? Like,
no, but that's the thing. ETH is not that.
I agree with you, but it's also, it doesn't have a narrative of its time in the moment. It had the narrative.
Look at Aave. Look at Aave relative to ETH.
Right. Who's lending right now? Who's excited?
Look at Aave relative to BTC. This looks like you remember the Zcash one before it went down for 3 years?
And it's like still emitting. I don't know the numbers, so I'm gonna sound ridiculous, but
it can be like down here in 2025. Like it could go down 80% relative to Bitcoin, and it could still be $100 if Bitcoin goes up a lot.
Here's what we need for this stuff to do well. We need rates to come down. That's number one. We need regulatory stuff to figure its stuff out in the United States, and we need stablecoins to have a place to be.
It'll be at the end of a cycle or something. It's just going to go to infinity at the very end.
It does not look good for DeFi right now. It just doesn't.
They look terrible,
especially in the United States. Now, if you're outside,
but it doesn't look good for DeFi, the coin. DeFi, the product is fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And even if it's ring fenced and geo fenced, it'll still be fine. It'll still be great. It'll still be better than the bank. Okay.
That's right. Thank you. Okay, we're on the same page. We are on the same page, Josh.
The problem is the price.
Of
Right.
course, the problem is the price.
People are telling me, oh man, I had this great meth head tweet. I was just like, wow. I think it was the Blockworks, one of the Blockworks people.
Oh, meth head. I was like, what are you talking about? Like
He
actual
was
meth head? You're talking about someone that likes Ethereum.
he was just
So
like
biased, calling us meth heads. How dare you?
he was pointing out, the energy thing. He was pointing out the deflationary thing, the staking thing, blah 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 blah, the yield piece, right? And yet here we are, right? We're not really outperforming anything, are we?
Yeah, we're up. ETH is outperforming basically everything.
It's gonna. Well, I mean,
except for Bitcoin for 3 weeks. Congratulations.
Right. So that's my one.
Bitcoin has outperformed ETH for 3 weeks. Well done. But this chart looks great. I'm not going to deny it. I like Bitcoin. I might actually choose to own one soon.
That's fine. I don't think it's ETH's spot at the moment. Right.
I think that's fine. The weekly chart for ETH and Bitcoin looks great, but for Bitcoin it looks prime.
Yeah, looks really good. The only thing to worry about here is a lower time frame head and shoulders if we break that horizontal, but that would be really loose if that was the case.
I'm going to draw some kind of dumb, like here's your, it flops out of that and goes to 0.
Are you saying 33K by July? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But I'm saying ride that channel and then, bears win. We go to 12K type of thing because the world is ending. Like that's a bear's dream if they can avoid getting liquidated beforehand.
Here's what everybody needs to know. I don't even know the answer to this. What are people in Asia excited about? Because they're the ones that can actually buy this stuff and are actually onboarded and able to freely exchange. In the United States, it's getting worse by the day. I mean, they went after cross border.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just forget the U.S. Like, the U.S. is not a good place to crypto right now. That's not to say it's gonna stop forever, but there's a reason Coinbase is like, okay, we're looking for alternative jurisdictions. There's a reason why Hong Kong as a potential what do you call those, like space balloon, like test flight for China is like, oh yeah, we're opening up. Like there are people that are going to yen to our yang. The U.S. is not the final say of it all. In fact, everyone else has a better argument for crypto and Bitcoin than the U.S. essentially, in the sense of like why do this? The U.S. is complacent and spoiled by the dollar, and everybody's printing money. This is basically all the stuff that I was talking about on Bankless, but I said it better there because I was surprising them versus, going fisticuffs with my buddy Josh.
Well, we are starting to look like everything we're doing in the United States is just capital controls because we're scared.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
It looks like China in 2017.
Yeah, let's cage the beast because it makes us nervous.
Yeah, 100%. But
that's bullish for Bitcoin in a long term.
I think it says
a lot.
We're getting to them at the very least.
First they fight. First they ignore you. Whatever. All that stuff.
And we also had a bank fail today. FRC,
First Republic,
which wasn't really, unless you're really dialed in, you're not really aware of it. I think it's West Coast, so again, it's hard for me to gauge from here, but I know people who banked with them, and
here
they said great things about the bank. They have nothing to say.
I was told crypto is dangerous.
Well, it goes against this bank failing.
It's like a UST chart.
This bank failing slowly goes against the entire narrative because there's no crypto here. Well, there's a few companies, but mostly non-crypto. Happened very slowly. There's no VCs per se intervening here.
They just failed.
There's no Twitter bank run, right? They had a ton of interest-only mortgages. They had
all the fake reasons that they explained away. The other ones don't exist here. Is the point?
Yes.
And all the real reasons totally existed here that were ignored and poo-pooed.
30% of their assets, their deposits, were other banks' capital. So That was
Maybe.
at behest of the, I believe, at behest of the Fed, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to bail out the entire depositor base. They have to.
And they will. They took over it, and then they'll say, "We got you," because we don't want this to escalate. How did this affect markets today? I did not pay any attention. They went up.
We were up a lot, I think, on tech earnings.
Oh, really?
Tech is just Google, Amazon, Microsoft.
Doesn't care.
Roaring. Sorry.
Roaring.
Roaring.
They're roaring. And where are you from? That's how it's like in Alabama. So they're roaring, baby.
But I think when the FDIC announcement hits come Sunday or whatever, when they make it official, when they put a ring on it, I think we'll see a little bump in crypto land. Just like we did last time.
Because it's not our fault.
It's not our fault. And it's bullish for crypto. It just is.
Did you see the Warren bill is basically just like dying on a vine because nobody cares?
I did, and that's just so unfortunate, you know?
Yes. He's being sarcastic for the listening audience who doesn't know the way Josh's voice works.
Yeah, that it's about time. You know, again, we need to help out the stablecoin people. Just give them the rules of the road and say, look, here's what you need to do. You need to do XYZ. It needs to be in this bank, blah, 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 right? Make it a money market equivalent and be done with it.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I de-risked some stuff, like basically the same levels we're at right now. When some of the bank things started, I don't remember. It was like I don't know, whenever it was. It's at a level that does not matter. I'm kind of tempted to put it back. Like this is a nice weekly that we are closing here. That we just closed on the S&P.
Well, you mentioned ETH-BTC in a 2-year range. I think S&P is actually at the same price it was 2 Aprils ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there.
And even further back, right? 2021.
Oh yeah, that's not 2022.
Well, maybe it is April.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's April 2021. Yeah, previous 2 years we spent 1 year above it in 2021 of hype and 1 year below it, 2023.
I think that was also a round of stimmies too.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong.
I like that. It's a little S-curve thing. Is that a chart pattern?
I mean, probably
some Elliott wave theory or something.
To me, it just looks like head and shoulders on top, inverted, head and shoulders below.
Mm-hmm.
But
go take it back to the highs and then dump it again. That sounds pretty good.
Liquidity has to go up because they have to bail the shit out. So
the tightening. You know? The tightening and the rate stuff, what they're not admitting yet, and they're going to have to, they have to choose between inflation and rates cannot go up, cannot keep going up. That's part of this problem with the banks, without a doubt. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm asking a bank for money next week for a real estate project, and it's like 8% makes things hard, 6% it can work, 4% everybody gets rich, right? Like. At 8%, your deals better work. At 10%, everybody's broken. And when you have 5-year-old loans rolling off, whether it's a business loan, a friend of mine that runs a business had a loan roll from a small business loan roll from like 5 to 9%. And he had to increase his prices 10% across the board for his small business because his loan recycled. And he was able to stay in business. You have some piece of property or something, and all of a sudden you got to bring, like more than your net worth to the table just to justify the existence of your loan still. And it does not work. You take that to 10%, you break everything. People that were financed at 2 and 3 and 4 that are now financing at 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like unbelievably bad for the real economy as those rates go up. So you better be damn sure that you have to do it because of inflation.
Well, that was my question for Powell. Going into this weekend with another failed bank, are they ready to raise another 25 come Wednesday? Because that's the next FOMC. I think they're going to have a very interesting weekend.
Yeah, but raising 25 or staying flat really doesn't mean that much. It's whether they come in and say, like, we're going to raise 25 8 times in a row and there's nothing you can do about it.
I agree. It's about the forward guidance at this point. It's less about what they're actually going to do.
Right.
So it's going to be an interesting press conference because they weren't going to raise when Credit Suisse basically failed. they weren't going to raise, but the justification was, okay, it looked like it was under control. This will be under control. This will be isolated, arguably, on their end. But again, they have 30 billion of, top banks capital that they're going to have to bail out. So
Wait, 30 billion is what Republic had?
no. I thought they had 100 billion. I could be off by a
But
couple
30
billion.
billion that was with other banks.
They had 100 billion on the books. 30 of that was other banks' deposits.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I don't know. That's not that much money to them. They just like, okay, we got it. Sorry. But that's the thing. This is the fragility of these systems, because where's that money coming from? Guess what?
Well, that's what people have been saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
Is every deposit guaranteed?
Yes,
is every
100%.
deposit basically a Fed liability? Right?
Every deposit with a top 20 bank, and what's going to happen is all these small and mid-sized banks are going to just get eaten alive, and then you're going to have some kind of limitation of like, okay, we're going to raise the FDIC limit to $1 million instead of 250. You're right, like something like that. It's going to protect small business. You can hear the narratives, can't you? And then like all those banks that aren't at JP Morgan, they go to zero because they can only afford to deal with kind of the top 5. And then there'll be like some kind of small bank liquidity savings program, spout. Like, and it's like tap into this liquidity for emergency stuff. And they're all like dying for it because their deposits are leaving left and right because people refuse to leave their money in those small banks. And then you have a run on all these small and medium banks. This stuff's supposed to not happen anymore.
Well,
right?
the irony is that raising rates makes deposit differentials worse because more people end up throwing money at money market accounts.
Yeah, and it takes it out too. Yeah,
that takes it out of the deposit base.
It's like this toilet bowl spiral of bank crap, and it's not Terra Luna. It's just banks. It's just supposed we have your money, wink, wink, banks, but they don't.
So I've been focused a lot on DXY and Gold. Gold specifically because of the correlation to BTC, but both of these charts to me look as though they're waiting for one to blink because gold's at a triple top, which doesn't really happen. And this looks like it's ready to break down to me.
But it looks bad.
You can't really like front run the XY assuming it's going to break down. But
and this still looks really good if you look at these longer time frames.
Yeah, it doesn't look amazing. Like those are some pretty ugly wicks up there, but
yeah, but unwick one of them and it's like boom, off you go, 30%.
My bias, my assumption is definitely that gold breaks up, Bitcoin breaks up, DXY breaks down. They, unleash the liquidity spiral.
The Fed
because they have to, right? Yeah, exactly.
The Fed blinks. Bitcoin moons.
All of the Fed speak for the past like 2 or 3 weeks has been, we need to keep raising. We're so hawkish, blah blah blah. But then push come to shove, I don't actually know if they're going to be able to do that because of all the reasons we just talked about. And inflation isn't 2%, but it's coming down.
Oh yeah,
year over year.
I don't have money anymore.
It's still extremely high on a relative basis, but it is coming down year over year.
Right. It's the fact that it's a rate of change relative to the previous year. So yeah, like if things got expensive last year and they're just still expensive, inflation's zero.
Right.
So, like how much really has to change? Life can still be expensive and stuff, but inflation in my mind is already topped a bit ago, and now we're seeing another example of Jay taking 6 months too long to do anything to respond properly.
Yeah, I mean, they've got lagging numbers. They're never really ahead of the curve. I'm not giving them a pass. I'm just saying, like, that's how I see their mindset. Real wages haven't kept up either. I don't want to like focus on macro, but
no, but they haven't. I mean, even though people are getting paid a lot more,
right, people are getting paid more, but definitely not enough relative to inflation. So there's no good outcomes here because what are they going to do? Crash the economy and everyone's going to get laid off anyway? It's
that's the I'm going to be Volcker, and now it's time to find out. Can you be Volcker, or will you not?
One other thing on BTC that I like is the 4 hour. The 4-hour cloud is a really good
Okay.
reset for trend once the higher time frames are bullish. And we're starting to get a
that. I hadn't looked at this in a long time either. I've fully taught myself finally to zoom out.
We're starting to get a bullish everything on the 4-hour. So
yeah, this looks nice.
We're looking good. BTC land. We survived the FUD and dump.
Do I need to start trading again, Josh? Like actually trading, not just, having my narratives for my weekly time frames.
Having your narratives for ETH bag, you mean? ETH is great. Look, if you get the yield, if you believe in it long term, go for it.
I don't have any yield.
Don't let me talk you out of it.
I don't spend any time doing yield.
I'm talking about staking.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You don't stake your ETH.
No.
Don't let anybody hear you say that.
It's not.
Why not? If you're buy and hold guy, why aren't you staking your ETH?
Well, because
we're gonna put him under the chair. Chat. We're gonna. I got the bright light on his face. He's in a corner.
Because 3 or 4% is not worth it for me because I am a holder, but I'm not just a holder. Like I'm gonna make a trade, and you know that, and I know that. And so by the time I do all that,
so what you're trying to say is that you're in an open relationship with your ETH bag. That's what you're
pretty much.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Well, of course I am. We both look at ETH BTC. Like I just ETH and BTC I like. ETH I love for long term. I got tons of exposure to ETH in a variety of ways. Now this chart,
fair enough.
This chart, that's gross. This is how do you
trade? ETH BTC just I don't think it is tradable. That's my conclusion.
You've been telling me that for a really long time.
When it's not trending, it's not tradable. That's it. That's just it.
Every time I think it's like this looks like it wants to break down, right? How many times did we say that when there was one red candle at the bottom of the range and then you're just like, no way. Looks terrible. The next week, guess what? It goes right back to where it was.
I saw somebody make a great point that since the merge, ETH BTC has only made lower highs. That says something. That's
who?
Doesn't matter who. I'm just saying. It's only made lower highs since the merge. Like the dream and the vision. Even I got sucked into it. I assumed ETH would be higher here.
There is one thing I like about staking ETH. You know that if you stake your ETH on Coinbase, you get free spot trading, no fees.
Oh, that is nice. I guess it's if you're a high frequency trader,
It's like the good old days of GDAX with 0 fees.
Yeah.
That's actually a meaningful reason to stake.
I did not know that was a thing.
One of my teammates told me that. I haven't tested it for myself, but
I've
not had custody on any exchange in a long time, Josh.
Yeah, I just have I shouldn't say it, but
coins.
Kraken. I have coins on Kraken. We'll say it like that.
Okay, gotcha.
The ETH unstaking differential has kind of been meaningless, I think, because it's all Kraken, because it has to be, because they are, mandated by the SEC to unlock
unstake. I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, because they shut down their staking program.
And it takes a while to get it undone.
Yeah, so all at least my read, all of the big pops in outflows have been Kraken for the most part.
Wow. I like staking stuff when I get like 200% APY or more. When I get 3, I'm just kind of like.
So you like Ponzi schemes, right? That's what you're saying.
No, it's just high inflation incentive programs.
Okay.
During DeFi summer.
What else is on this Twitter list? I don't have much else to say. I mean, banks failing, Bitcoin doing okay, ETH doing zombie things. ETH on lower time frames is just abysmal. Talk about a difficult chart to trade.
I just don't look at it. It's been basically 1900. It's just staying there.
High time frames, Adam Eve all day. That thing should easily go to 2500 plus.
And that's all. That's literally all that matters to me.
And that's fair. That's a believable trade.
Like, why do I care about anything else? Just take it to here and then see what happens.
Yeah, that should happen. I just, looking at the chart, that's an ugly reversal.
Yeah, man, doesn't really impress me. The breakout was nice, but
I think
the clawback of it is kind of just like okay, well, you shook out the people that decided they're going to leverage up now,
I think ETH just needs some time. And I don't really know what other alt is doing okay.
None.
Somebody want to talk about meme coins, but
no,
I
don't care.
I don't either. I just don't care.
And none of the big alts are doing anything. None of the like liquid, been around a while alts, or they're all the narratives that you said about ETH. They're way worse on all those.
Oh, way worse.
So if you want to go swimming, you do got to go swimming in the freaking meme coins that have a $1 million valuation, and somebody named like, Harry DeFi Butt is like pumping it on Twitter, and you got to go play that game with $2,000 or something. I'm not doing that.
No.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. But like Sol looks decent from like a pattern perspective. AVAX looks okay.
Sol looks decent.
But now is not the time,
Yeah. Well, that's like
on the USD pair.
I've ever seen. Look at Sushi BTC. That's zero forever. That's just like death incarnate on the way. Relative to BTC. Relative to USD, it's just, more flat, more nothing burger.
The thing with those BTC pairs, like you talked about with Aave, like they'll just die for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then have a crazy week.
And then all of a sudden it just reverses. And they're like, everybody's like, oh, I'm such a genius that I held Aave. It's like, no, you just waited until that time. But if you can
then you see the tweet threads come out.
Yeah, but if you can maximize your buying power before that by Josh, you taught me this lesson probably back in summer 2017. Maximize that buying power when it's not time. And then when you want to go deploy and it's time, then go deploy. Use your newfound buying power where your Bitcoin can buy 10 times the number of alts and a quantity and all that stuff, and then get that run. Don't live through the bleed out. Don't deal with it. Just hold other stuff, hold big stuff, hold Bitcoin. Maybe in my mind, ETH jumped up a little bit in that conversation. I think it jumped up more than you think it jumped up in terms of being a major. But whatever, either one, who cares? Just do Bitcoin if that's easy. If you are pretty ETH denominated like I tend to be, then do ETH, But maintain your buying power. You don't need to be in DeFi. You don't need to be in microcaps. You don't need to play those games. You don't need to be in JPEGs. I love, I build for NFTs, but doesn't mean I like every JPEG in the world. And I certainly wouldn't put my net worth in all of them, like many people did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got crushed between that and taxes. I mean, that's just enough.
It's the story, the age-old.
Because if you make enough money in anything, you're going to have to pay taxes or go to jail. I guess that's a choice.
Yep.
And then you have to liquidate stuff in a depreciating market, and it's just a double whammy.
That's right.
But yeah, things look good. We want to see gold break up, Dixie break down, and crypto should follow.
Can I show you something cool?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Actually, maybe I'll take that back.
We launched something new on Flip. A couple things. This is the new feed. It's live for everybody right now.
It was the long con to get me to stay.
It was. This is browsing collections. So this is my inbox. So like if you gave me an offer of an NFT, it would be there. Whereas this is aggregated amongst my wallets. So like I can see the trade offer that I made for a Pudgy Penguin. To level up my Pudgy Penguin, I offered 4 ETH and my Pudgy Penguin for a different Pudgy Penguin. All kinds of cool stuff that you can do there. Get your collections that you follow. But the killer thing is now you can propose trades through our OTC platform. So I can send you this. You as if you actually own something. Instead, I'll choose Keyboard Monkey. I'll trade with Keyboard Monkey. I want Keyboard Monkeys.
Oh, I see. So you can see their collection, and then you can like
Yep.
barter, basically. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna give you 2 ETH, and then I can go propose that trade and send him a message and say, "Give me crowns," and then I go trade. How cool is that? All right, I'm gonna cancel that now.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool if you like JPEGs.
No, it's cool even if you don't like JPEGs, like someone like me. It's still very cool. The technology is cool.
Yeah.
It is inherently cool, bro.
Thank you. But we launched that. It's live. I haven't told anybody. We'll tell people Monday, but we're telling some of y'all Friday night.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Just go to flip.xyz/trade and try it for yourself. Or you can go to any asset and just say make an offer, and you'll pop up that interface. Best OTCs, peer-to-peer type thing in the market. And it's safe because those are authenticated wallets. It's not like Discord scams. So you know it's the real asset because you saw it on Flip. Anyway, that's my show. I'm really proud of my team that put that together and got it launched. They've been working on it for several weeks after we started on it a month ago, and now it's live. That and our little tweak deck thing, so you can just keep that open and look at stuff all day. It's super cool. But market doesn't care that much about.
Do you have a go-to-market NFT AI strategy?
No. I said they have to be using Flip too, right? No, you can just share the link to them. So like if I shared the link to that Pudgy one, then they just connect their wallet and accept it. So you can build the trade, and they can choose to counter and all that kind of stuff if they get there, but they can just connect their wallet and accept the trade. So just using the Flip website for that, we have to do that somewhere. So anyway, it's pretty neat. But no, we don't have an AI strategy. We have I believe in NFTs and NFT technology and spec, and I think some JPEGs are really cool, and some, as in most, are not.
Fair enough.
Got to have a long-term thesis and build it. So that's what we did. But anyway, not about me and not about that. Just wanted to show it off because that's one of the things I worked on this week. Worked on some other personal stuff too, but mostly just happy to be here. Happy to be able to talk to you for the first time in a long time, and looking forward to Bitcoin being over 30K next week.
Same. It looks really good.
Think it's going to happen.
I think so.
33K.
I think we'll know by Wednesday when that meeting hits and Paul spews his nonsense.
Well, let's be honest. The meme can be fulfilled for several more months.
Oh, the meme. I'm not even worried about it. Are you kidding me? Like,
yeah, come on.
We got time.
By July.
Right. By July.
Lots and lots of time. May, June, July. 3 months. We have a quarter to get this done.
I didn't even, people bring this up all the time, but I didn't pull it out again and was talking about it.
No, everybody else did because it was such a good meme in 2018.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that it survived.
Good.
Anyway, that's all I got. Follow our stuff. I got a ton of stuff on Twitter all the time.
Carpe Noctem.
I'm doing another podcast with a few other guys.
Is that the one with Jack?
With Jack and Bitcoin Schmitcoin. Nice. We're doing one on Wednesday.
That's a trader. That's a trader's delight, baby. That's
the traders podcast, right?
Traders. This is me waxing, and Josh talking news. This is Josh's news podcast with some technicals. That is, let's dig into what are your cloud settings, bro?
Right, exactly. So look, if that's not for you as a listener, then as long as you know what you're getting yourself into.
What's the link for it?
I think Market Power Hour is the YouTube name.
I like it.
Yeah, cool. We share the links.
Yeah, share the links.
So look out for that. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, man. Good to see you. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for joining us on a Friday night. It's 10:12 my time. And it's been a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, we got to do the music. Remember, there's music.
That's on you.
Yeah, I know. That's my job.
Professional potter.
Come on. What am I doing here? Why even bother coming back?
He's half an IPA deep, folks. He can't hit the button.
See you later.
In the blink of an eye, the easy river has just run dry. in a house of cards. I feel the breeze wound so tight I can barely breathe. Oh, the chains, oh, the chains, oh, the chains, come release me from